everybody. Welcome back to Sprint into the New Year, Bob Proctor's 5-day formula for wealth and abundance, and our final PGI Success Advisor Roundtable of the week. So welcome everyone who's joining us back again. Tommy Collier here, and we're going to dive in right away to Q&A with our brilliant PGI Success Advisor panel here. So if you want to ask a question live, please come and join us on Zoom. The link is in the chat on YouTube and Facebook. And once you're on Zoom here with us, please virtually raise your hand. So click on the reactions button at the bottom of the Zoom screen and then click raise hand. Or you can type questions into the chat and we'll read them out loud too. And try to get through as many as we can during our final session here today. So joining us on our panel, please welcome back PGI Success Advisor Vice Presidents, Monica Demarin, Cleona O'Hara, and DP Gates. Hey guys.
Hey everyone.
How are you?
Awesome. Great.
Good. So great to have you back. And we've got a really great question to start this off here today, a very common question for all of the parents out there. How do you help your kids learn and apply this information as well? And you're all parents except me. I'm a cat parent. But let's start there. Monica, why don't you lead us off?
Yeah, for sure. I love this question. I do get it quite a bit for sure. You know, it's interesting. The most important thing is leading by example and creating an environment where they can feel comfortable asking questions about this, but they see their mother really going after their dreams. And I incorporate it in our conversations with them. You know, at the table, it's like we talk about, I'm very, you know, getting them all together at the table. Having breakfast time is a really important part of my day with my kids. That's where I'm opening up the conversation. I'm setting up their day, you know, talk to them about attitude. They know about Earl Nightingale. They know about, you know, Bob and Arash, what they have taught me many lessons. I also talk to them about the flip side. So it's during conversations and leading, I always talk to them about, you know, quitting. You know, because they can get used to quitting, you know, and Bob has that great story about his son when he didn't want to do the swimming lessons. And he says, well, you can quit, but then the next time you want to quit, it's going to get easier and easier. So conversations and experiences that I have had with my journey are definitely coming up. They do gratitude as well. I mean, I tell them to be grateful all day long for the good, the bad, all of that's going on because they're teaching them lessons. And I teach them how to develop grit. I said, every day is not going to be, you're not going to be at your absolute best, you know, but every day is there for a lesson to learn. So as I'm sending them off to school, I'm helping them with their mindset. And also towards the end of the day, when I'm putting them to bed, I'm definitely whispering amazing words in their ears, having great conversations, because I know how important it is when you fall asleep, your subconscious mind is going to work. One more thing that I have had them do is mirror work. Auto-suggestion is part of their routine when they're brushing their teeth, is part of their routine now. They have their affirmations in the mirror. And how I've done this exercise is I've sat down with all three of them. I'm blessed with three beautiful boys. And I said, okay, well, what don't you really like about yourself that you want to improve? And I have two that are really into sports. So they have goals set around sports. So we created a little paragraph around sports. And my other son wants to really improve on his grades in math. So we created these declarations. So as they're brushing their teeth, they're repeating their goals and affirmations.
So good. I hope parents are taking notes. Cleona?
I love it. Thanks, Tommy. So very similar to Monica. Actually, my daughter, something I started to do recently. I have three little ones. My daughter's 7. My son, James, is 4. Gabriel's 3. And then I have 3 stepchildren that are older. So the younger ones, what I'm doing with Gracie, who's 7, I actually just started doing this. I actually play affirmations now while she sleeps. So while she's sleeping, she's actually listening to mommy's voice. And what I'm doing is I'm, affirming, I am confident, I am beautiful, I am smart, those types of affirmations while she's sleeping. And also, like Monica, we pull out the gratitude journal every day. She has to write down 5 things she's grateful for. With my sons, what I've started to do is they know when I come in here, mommy's working, mommy's in the office and mommy's working. Well, mommy, why do you have to work? I'm like, because we have to earn money. You want those toys? You want to go to Disney World? we have to earn money. So I'm teaching them the value of money, and that if they want something, it has to be earned. So I'll give them little chores. For example, I'll tell my son, go pick up after you, go pick up your toys. Now you've earned a game. So they always bring the iPad over. Mommy, I want to buy this. I want to buy that. And I'm like, well, you have to do something for it. So I'm teaching them the laws through these activities. You have to earn everything you get, teaching them to be grateful. And also doing the affirmations with my daughter at night. I've noticed a really big change in her since I started doing that. And also, there's really cool sleep meditations for children. And I also play those. Those are beautiful. You can find them online.
Very good. Awesome. Thanks, Cleona. DP?
Sure. Yeah. You know, it's funny. Like we're looking at everybody on the panel. We have like 97 kids between all of us. And Tommy's got he's a cat guy. So he's got his baby there with his cat. So we got a lot of kids and a lot of experience between all of us. And, you know, for me, you know, I really agree with what Mon was saying. You know, like it's all about leading by example. Like I first and foremost believe like, it's that famous quote, like love is spelled Time. Like it's time. I spend time with my kids and I give them attention. Like I'm not on my phone. I'm not paying attention to something else. Like I am talking to them like a grown up. You know, we're looking at dead in each other's eyes. We're you know, speaking to each other with love. And I think the attention part is they can feel that love. They know when, you know, a parent is disconnected or not. You know, a few things that I do. I always talk about this, but we have certain words we don't say in our house. There's 3 of them. There's a lot of limiting words we don't say, but 3 of them are can't, but, and try. If we say can't, we have to do push-ups. I'm hoping my son Declan, who's so smart, he's 7, like he always picks up on and nails me. Now he wants me to do like burpees and all kinds of other hard stuff. I'm constantly telling them, why are you so smart? Like I'm asking, why are you so smart? They'll do something. I'll go, why are you so smart? And then their answer is because I choose to be. So they're just reaffirming that over and over again. And then the last one is, you know, when they really want something, this is the same stuff we teach here, you know, but we're teaching at a young age so they develop a great paradigm with it. So when we really want something, what do we, and we're scared, like fear pops up. And I teach them that fear is totally normal. It's a good thing. You know, like that's something we need to go for. But when we're scared and we really want to do something, what do we do? And their answer is always, we do it anyway. And then they get their moments to do it anyway. Like it actually happens. It's one thing to talk about it, but then when an experience or something pops up, it gives me an opportunity to teach them that. And I'm so focused on like they're building their self-image, especially those first 7 years. I have a 16-year-old.
I think DP might have froze. Maybe he'll come right back. Because that's good. I love that. Asking your kids, why are you so smart? I love that.
Mm.
So good. Cool. Well, let's see. We're going to get started with some questions here. Oh, there's DP. We lost you for a second.
Oh, it just says my internet connection is unstable. So
okay, continue. What you were saying.
I mean, those are the 3 main things I focus on. You know, we have certain.
What's the third?
The third one, the can't, but, and try. We don't say that. Can't, it means push-ups. And then I ask them always why they're so smart, and they say they choose to be. And the last one is, what do we do when we're scared? We do it anyway. Those are the 3. And then I'm just focused on their self-image, building their self-esteem and their confidence. You know, I have a 16-year-old. I've seen it develop into him, and I'm doing it with my 2 younger ones. And I just love what Monica said. I really, truly believe we lead by example, and they want to be a part of that. They want to see that. And it's a great thing. I love it. I love being a dad.
So good. Love it. All right, let's get into some questions. We got Angela here with a burning question, I feel. Hey, Angela.
Hi, I'm in Ipswich in Suffolk in the UK. I'm just, and Cleona's my coach. I'm really grateful, Cleona, for all that you've shared so far. I've just been so impressed. Going in further with children and education, I've reached over 5,000 students so far from early years to 6th form, and I've been talking about the creative industries, and I'm just kind of like wondering about with what, if I do become a consultant, and I'm really considering it, is am I able to share that in schools?
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of children have had the same thing as me, and that's the one reason why I do what I do with children, is that they often have those paradigms that, you know, like the parents are telling them, oh, you can't do this because you're stupid or whatever, or you fail whatever, and they remind them of reasons why they couldn't do it. But I'd love to be able to share this with schools.
Absolutely, Angela. I know we're talking soon, but when I became a consultant, Angela, that was my intention, because I obviously have my own children, but I was very passionate about bringing this back to my school where I grew up when I was younger, because they needed it back home, especially in Northern Ireland with all the different paradigms. And that's what I did. I became a consultant. And then I went back to my school, and I still, till today, most people don't know this, but I still actually teach some of the kids back home in Northern Ireland. I do one call every month with the younger kids and the teenagers, and I bring this to them. So you absolutely can bring this to the children. Yeah, they need it.
Yeah,
they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything else, Angela?
I am really, I just wanted to share, and it's not a question, but I really wanted to share that I have been through, I was an unconscious competent when I was little, and I don't know how I did it, all the way through the abuse I suffered all through my childhood, but I still kept resilient. And yet, once I gave up on my dream to be an architect, that was the ending, but it was also a beginning. Since then, I've been clawing my way back to where I was, conscious, but this time to be consciously competent. And this last 5 days have been like the real icing on the cake for me at the moment, because I still need the decorations to go on it, ready for blasting into eternity. But literally, like, I have gone through so many books, and I've read Think and Grow Rich, but this has helped me so much to realize that it's the paradigm that we have that we need to get rid of and recondition and eliminate. And I am so grateful. I want to express my gratitude for this, because I don't think I would have been able to afford something like this at the moment. But it's really, really like changed me so much.
Yep. So, you're welcome. You're so welcome, Angela. And we'll speak soon. Okay.
Thank you.
And unless the paradigm changes, nothing changes, as you know. So I'm glad you're here.
Thanks, Angela. So good. All right. If anyone else would like to raise their hand and come up and speak, ask a question live, please feel free to do so. Just click on reactions at the bottom of the Zoom screen and raise hand, or you can let me know in the chat that you want to do that. So some questions from the chat that are rolling in here. From YouTube, how can I apply this sense of urgency in daily tasks? I do my work in the last minute and it's stressful. Could you please give me some exact steps?
I can help with that. We've been teaching on that this year a lot. Well, first of all, stop doing that, stop reaffirming that you're waiting till the last minute. And we were talking to our team a while back about this, and, Bob and Arash have been really on me about urgency over the years. And for me, like, a sense of urgency is everything in everything we do, because your urgency dictates the urgency from the people and the things that you're going to attract. So if you don't have a lot of sense of urgency and you're putting off things, I wouldn't be shocked that that's what you're also attracting to your life, and you're going to continue to attract it. So the way you can get over that hump is start doing it with little things. I was telling my team, like, I started doing it with everything. I really picked up, like, I noticed my paradigm come in where I would be driving home and I need to get gas in my car. And my paradigm said, well, just wait till tomorrow. It's not a big deal. And I said, no, this is a big deal. Like, every single thing down to the most minute detail has to have urgency in a calm, confident manner, like Bob says. And I'd come home, put out the trash. Well, maybe I can wait till tomorrow when the trash guy comes. No, I do it immediately. I do it now. And then my kids start seeing it. We're talking about kids. They notice it. They're like, Daddy, why are you waiting? Why are you doing this? Like, they're on my tail about it, a 5 and 7 year old. And I got to lead by example. So I think you start focusing on, 1 or 2 little things, and then you can lead to the next thing. And that's with anything in life, like behaviors and whatever. If you try to attack 15 different things, you're going to get nothing done. So find 1 or 2 little behaviors that you can create urgency in, or 1 or 2 things you're doing throughout the day that you're putting off, and attack them. and do it over and over again. And then until you get those things down, then you can move to the next and the next and the next. But urgency is everything. It's everything.
Mm-hmm. I can add on to this. So urgency won't be created unless you have a want. Okay. The starting point of urgency is a very heated, charged, burning desire. Then you're going to move yourself into urgency. Because if you don't have that want, there's no fuel to add to that urgency as well. You'll do it, but maybe for just very, very, very short period of time. So for anyone who has a really strong desire, they will be urgent when it comes. It'll come at a certain attitude. Like urgency is a certain attitude. And you don't need to be perfect when you're creating urgency at all. Okay. But you do have to have passion and a want behind it to drive that urgency. And then you're just going to create that as like, it's going to become automatic when you do that. But you do need to have that want, in my opinion.
That was so good. I just wrote down urgency is an attitude. That was really good, Mom.
Yeah.
Taking notes over here too.
Attitude. So Arash did one of our calls this week for a different program, and he said someone was asking about urgency, and he says urgency is like a rocket fuel. Like think of it like a rocket fuel attitude. And I loved that image, right? It's just action, 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 right? However, you don't want to frantically be doing this, but you want to have that want. So the passion's behind it. I'm a very passionate person. I have that enthusiasm as well, but you want to go about when you're creating urgency, with that desire, it's very heated, charged desire.
Yeah, I love that, Monica. And I would just add quickly, behind my desire is always my why. My why drives me. So if I ever find myself, my paradigm trying to slack, I go back to my why. Why do I want this? Why am I here? What's my purpose? And that fires me up again. So think about your why as well.
Yeah. All right. This next question from YouTube. Hello. I would like your advice on my struggle with getting pen to paper. Recording myself doesn't seem to work. Let's see. Telling myself what I want to write down. Just can't get it out of my head onto paper, and it's frustrating. What do you say?
Do it now. Do it now. Like DP said, that's your paradigm trying to stop you. And I also tell my clients, I say, give your paradigm a name. So when you hear that voice, it sounds like you. It's not you. It's trying to make you procrastinate and give up. Give it a name. Give it a name that's not powerful, maybe a funny name. So when you hear it, you say, no, I'm going to do it right now. And just lift the pen and get accountability. Get somebody to hold you accountable. Maybe it's accountability partner, buddy, somebody from the 5-day program.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would add to that, like, how badly I don't know what your goal is or what you want, but I would ask, how badly do you want to do this? Is your paradigm is worth giving your power to your paradigm or what you want? Like, if you really want this, then you're going to put the pen to paper, put on some music that you love, get in a great vibration and start writing. If it's something that you're truly connected to and you really want, then you're going to do it. Like, these things don't happen by accident. Like, people don't get to a certain point in life by accident. They've got to do the things that the processes that are required to get to there. And that's a process that's required to get there. So you might want to go all the way back to, what is it I really want? Do I really want this badly enough to do whatever it takes?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It's funny because I can relate to this person. There's often times where I can't put pen to paper. And even just that is, you're giving the power to that paradigm. And I know this, like, I'm like, God, this is so silly. And I'll find other things to do to distract me. Okay. But like, that's how strong it can be. And I mean, that's when I first started within the first couple of years. Like, I remember going, this is so funny. This is part of my paradigm, pen to paper. But Napoleon Hill says you have to will yourself to be great. Okay. There's nothing more accurate than that. You have to will yourself. Will is one of your faculties. Okay. Hold the image of you writing that down.
Yeah.
Hold the image of you actually writing it down. And you may write 50 copies and you're still not there. It's still going to get clearer and clearer. But start, right? Willing yourself is just starting yourself. And that will comes from a universal law as well. So you have to be using your will every time. Your imagination will grow as you keep using it as well.
Mm-hmm. I can relate to Monica. Do you think, because this is my problem, is I didn't start writing because I'm like, I want it to be perfect. Like, I wanted it to come from my head to the paper, perfectly written. so I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can always write it again.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's you got to talk back to the paradigm sometimes. You have to have that internal dialogue and demand of yourself, and I demand of myself all day long.
Yeah.
Next question here from Adrian. Is there a best procedure to step by step to make our self-image better? What are some tools?
Well, I talked about it yesterday. A couple of tools is, write down what you don't want, right? What you don't like. And then you could start there. And the opposite of what you don't like is probably what you do want, right? You could start there, pick a couple of people you admire, 5 or 6 people that you really look up to, and start deciding why. What do you like about those people? Is it how they look? Is it their attitude? Is it their career? So start finding people that you really admire and picking out the parts of them and start designing this person. So that's what I would do. Meditate on it, take some time alone, and really go inward. And you will see images of that person. I'm sure you have already.
Yeah, I would add to that saying, like, when I went through Bob's year-long mentorship, it's like a platform of really studying yourself through kind of Bob's lens for a year. That was a big thing that shifted for me. Like, I'd been studying this on my own, trying to figure it out and hoping and wishing it would work. And as I got like some action steps from him, especially with my self-image, like first thing I started doing was dressing nicer, but I attacked a few things over the course of that year that really developed my self-image. And I started to study people I really respected, and like how does this person talk? Like, how does he communicate? What are his skill sets? How does he, what's he look like when he's speaking on stage? What's he wear? I wanted to emulate some of their habits and behaviors and take those on subconsciously for me. And as I did that over a period of time, like, I became a completely different person. Like, people hadn't seen me in a year were like, who the hell does this guy think he is? And I was like, this is who I am now. Like, I choose into this, and that's what self-image is all about to me and it's also about action. Like, you've got to take action as that person. You got to be thinking and acting. Like we talked about this all week, and Arash talked about self-image today, and he was talking about, someone asked him about it. He said, action. Action is really where the image is going to be built. We can formulate it in our mind all day long. We can start dressing and talking and acting as these people that we respect. But then the action part is going to be everything. You got to act like that person, and eventually you become it. Like, you get on that frequency Bob talks about, and it's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I actually have a process that I often relate to with my clients with self-image. This person was asking for certain action steps, and this is coming right from Arash, and it's a winning formula daily process. But when it comes to self-image, you want to do a self-analysis, right? Is your current image in harmony with what you want to accomplish? Like we talked about that this week, right? Rewriting it. How are you attacking it towards what you want? So the process that you can do, it's 5 steps. Number 1 is decide. Every day you have to decide that you are going to be this new image. You got to decide that every day. Number 2, you have to commit. Every day you need to recommit to that image. You have to recommit to that goal. You have to make a commitment to yourself. And this comes from what I like with the commitment part is that you respect yourself so much that you are committing to it. You love yourself so much that you're committing to that new version, and you don't spend a second thinking of any thoughts that are not in harmony with that. And then, like DP said, number 3 is act. Okay. Every day we have to take action towards our goal. Every day we have to take action towards our new image. So whether it's in the clothes we wear, it's really funny about confidence and building the self-image. A lot of people love the idea of it, but it's living into it is where the hard part, because you have to be willing to face the things that you're not good at in order to improve that image. So number 1, your action for like the 3rd step is action. Well, what are your insecurities that you want to turn into strength? And you take what Cleona said, you write it down in the negative, rewrite it in the positive. And then the 4th one is succeed. Every day you have to find wins on your self-image, wins, because when you're focusing on winning, you're going to create more winning. And then the 5th one is rinse and repeat. We rinse and repeat that formula every day. That's really simple and easy to commit to.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Very good. All right. CK's got a question. Welcome back, CK, if that's how you say it.
Oh, yes. Good day.
Good day.
Yeah. So sorry, I just want to ask a quick question. for example, if I want to meditate with somebody, like we agree to do together, either a friend or a spouse, my question here is that I am so happy and grateful now. So which language are we to use? Should we use we are so happy, or everybody should take it individually while still meditating? I want to know that exactly. And then secondly, please, I need a clarity on if I want to imitate somebody, or I like, for example, you now, Tommy, I want to earn the types of money you are earning. Should I dress like you, begin to wear the types of eyeglass, begin to leave my hair like you, and begin to talk like you? Or how exactly can I be able to fully copy somebody?
Mm-hmm.
Those are the two questions.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Coaches?
Tommy's a great guy to emulate after. It's like, I'm looking at all three of them. They're all great people to emulate after. I'll take that question. I wasn't 100% sure on the other question, but I think it's, you write it out, present tense for you, but I'll let someone else handle that one. But yeah, that's what I did. I don't like the saying act as if. I mean, I think you can act as if within your own mindset and what you're telling yourself and reaffirming through auto suggestion. We've talked about that this week too. But I think you can, you basically every day you wake up and you face it until you become it. And you just add certain things. Like I said before, don't add 15 different things all at once. Add one or two things and attack those things every single day. If it's starting to dress like Tommy, then you start dressing like Tommy tomorrow. And then you until you get comfortable in that and you really feel like this is who I am now. And then you move on to the next thing, whatever that may be. If it's going to work out, if it's studying some great speaker that you love, if it's studying somebody, how they speak and how they talk and how they walk, and really like getting in front of the mirror, like that stuff I used to do. I still do it. Like I'm talking to myself all day long, so I'm always trying to up my image and create a new self-image. I think we always have to do that. And, Rosh is always talking to us all on this panel about that. Every single day, every single moment by moment, we should be upping our image. So for you, just start taking on one or two little habits and behaviors, whether that's dressing better or to the way you want to speak or the way you want to talk, that, those things, you do those over time. Like I said, over the course of a year or so, you're going to develop these mental muscles, like going to the gym and developing physical muscles. But these are mental muscles that can take you to a place where you never thought you could and create the freedom that you're looking for and become that person. Like you really, truly become that person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think the answer to your first question, CK, do it with I am. Don't say we are, because you create for you in your world and they create for them in theirs. So use I am versus we are.
And when, just to finish off with self-image, one thing I think is very important, we have to make decisions as that person. So throughout the day, not only act, walk, talk as that person. What I do, if I have to make a decision, I say, what would the future Cleona do here? What would she decide? And I do it right away. I act as her into the future now. So make sure you're making decisions from that person as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Helpful, CK, got it?
Yes. So does that mean you need to contact the person to be able to know some of the things with him?
Not necessarily. Mm-mm.
Okay.
I mean, if you can, sure, but you don't have to know them.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Start where you're at. Like
Yeah.
when I started this, I did not have the environment. So I was kind of like, I have to seek out these people. So I started to seek them out. What are they doing? And I started to build it into my image. I started to build characteristics of people that I really loved and admire from afar. And I start to build into it. And what happens when you start focusing on that, you're going to start creating your environment. It's going to unfold and move into form. And then all of a sudden you're going to be associated with those people. But if you know someone in your life that is where you want to be with a certain image that you want to create, yeah, go and pick their mind. Absolutely. But you can study so much from people from afar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So both.
Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Thanks, CK. All right. Very good. Let's see. Question here. I want to go to the chat. Toby says, I've noticed my pattern is to sabotage after I've signed up into a program whereby I may not even start. What is the root of this and how do I address this?
Well, it depends on the program you're in. Like before I got into this environment, I did a lot of programs. And like, I think everybody probably can relate to that. Like we've all spent time and money on, I call them self-study programs, and there's nothing wrong with them. Like they motivate you, but there's no direction. They're easy to start. They're easy to stop. And there's nobody there really holding you accountable and helping you through the process, like the how of it. I'm guessing you probably got it. You probably didn't have a lot of motivation moving forward because you had nobody there to hold you accountable and, hold you to the goal that you said you want and the standard that you want to live for your life. Like when I got into this and got around people like, that are on this panel, and you've seen Arash and Mikey and everybody else speak, they came from a very different place. They were operating from a different place and a different awareness. And so as I studied them, it made me better. And I got to study me, and we were talking about self-image. Like I watched Monica, you've heard her story, and I've watched Cleona. She hasn't been here as long, but she's done some incredible things. Like I've watched them, over the years here, like they're adding new things to their lives and adding new things to how they operate and their self-image. And Monica and Arash really inspired me over the years because I watched them do it. And we wouldn't see each other for a while. We'd go to our live events and I was like, you guys look great. Like, what are you doing? They were dressing different. They were working out. They were like attacking these little behaviors one by one. And then all of a sudden they were stepping into the person they always wanted to be. So, for you, like, I think if you got direction, and we call it specialized direction, in the proper environment, and you start studying that from, a different awareness and getting around the right people, your whole world changes. Like it is a game changer. And that's probably what you were missing. I know for sure that's what I was missing for years until I finally did it. And you get the direction, your whole world will change. That's it, period.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're about done here, you guys. Why don't you all, what is your best piece of advice for everyone listening to move forward, to use this training as a springboard into what's next? Monica, you want to start us off?
Yeah, well, just remember what Arash said this morning. Your paradigm wants to conform you. Okay. It wants you to conform. And I love that word because it's so true. You have to completely put the foot on the gas and go and finish strong. Your paradigm is going to want you to pull you backwards and get yourself thinking stronger, acting stronger, your attitude 10 times stronger, because if not, it's going to really come up and sneaky and bring you back. So moving forward, go and watch the replays, keep watching, get your mindset really strong, where when you choose in and you fully choose in, you're going to be supported in ways that you never imagined. So
yep, absolutely. Cleona?
Yeah, choose yourself. Let this be the final year that you move into 2022, and you've now decided that you're going to choose you for the first time, and your higher self, not the old paradigm, not the old conditioning. Choose you. Go all in. Take the training. Take it seriously. This stuff has changed all of our lives. But my biggest advice is choose you. Make decisions as her from the end or him from the end. It's so important that you don't walk away from this training and you go back to the old behaviors, the old habits. Stay in this environment, keep in these types of circles, get in touch with your success advisor as well, and see how you can continue on with us. But let this be the last year that you finally choose in and you choose yourself.
Yeah. Thanks, Cleona. DP?
Going to these events is easy, and watching YouTube's easy, reading books is easy. I don't think what's always easy is to take a deep dive into us and study ourselves and find the right place to do that, and that was like what I was saying earlier. That's what changed for me. When I took a deep dive into me versus just studying, like a lot of people study this, I think we all have, where we read the books, watch the videos, gather the information. It's fun. We enjoy it. We justify in our mind that we can just go apply it on our own and we'll figure it out. And I did that for far too long. And unfortunately, I was in a place in my life where I was dissatisfied and my back was against the wall. So I was forced to okay, I got to spend some time and money to really get into the right environment and get around the right people. I don't want that for any of you, but maybe that's a good place to be too, though. It doesn't feel like it's a good place at the time, but maybe looking back, it probably was the best place I could ever have been in because it pushed me to do something great. But I'm telling you, Bob said it today. He goes, we invest in everything under the sun, or the other way, we invest in everything under the sun where there's no return. But the best place to invest is in ourselves, and there's a tremendous return. And I just think about where you're at with all, like Bob's the most aware person I've ever met, and this lineage all the way back to Carnegie and Hill to him, with Earl Nightingale. And like, we have something so special here. And I'm very biased, but it's the best environment in the world. So it's changed all of our lives, and we're no different than anybody that's on this call. We are no different than you. We may have some time on you, but that's about it. We were just willing to, bet on ourselves, have some guts, and go for it, because life is short, and why not? Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Really good, you guys. Thank you to everyone who came on and asked amazing questions. And coaches, thank you for your time and wisdom as always. It's been a fabulous week, and we will see you next year.
Next year.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.